So the chart you put out yesterday was misleading. If you had a do-over, you would have done it differently.
No,
right?
I disagree. I don't think it's misleading.
But this was a chart that was put out by this anti-abortion group.
And that's why we labeled it as such. The numbers are exactly accurate.
But the arrows show
there is a reduction.
I'll give you the two charts that would have been a more accurate way, and we'll put them up on the screen. That's the chart you showed, and it shows, the numbers are specific. It shows that from 2006 to 2013, abortions went from Planned Parenthood from 289,750 to 327,000. Right. Cancer screenings, prevention services went from 2 million down to just under 1 million.
Right.
But it makes it look like there's a whole lot more abortions than there are cancer screenings, whereas there's 3 times as many cancer screenings as there are abortions. Here's a chart that Vox put out with the exact same numbers that gives a more accurate reflection of what was going on, the decline in cancer screenings, prevention services, the slight increase in the number of annual abortions.
The number of abortions increased. The numbers were exactly accurate. The number of cancer screenings.
The numbers were accurate, but the arrows seemed very misleading.
I stand by the numbers. I can understand where people would say that arrows went different directions, but the numbers are accurate, and that's what we were trying to portray.
I guess the whole question is, it wasn't to scale. It didn't really show an accurate reflection when you show those kinds of arrows.
The reality is the breast care screenings are down nearly 53% over the same.
And you know
course
why
of
they
time,
say they're down like that? Because the federal government has recommended less annual screenings for certain procedures. That's why they say the numbers have gone down.
But their funding has continued to go up, and that's the point. They tout that they go, we've heard the Cecile Richards talk about mammograms in the past. They don't do any mammograms there at Planned Parenthood. Here's the point, Wolf. $127 million of revenue, more than their expenses.
Most of the money they get about $500 million a year. Most of that are Medicaid reimbursements for cancer screenings, for other procedures, not for abortions, because the federal government doesn't allow Medicaid to reimburse for abortions.
When they have more than $100 million in revenue over expenses, I would say, look, they do not necessarily need federal taxpayer dollars. They're flying first-class tickets. They're chartering private aircraft. They're sending money overseas. These are not things, they're exorbitant salaries, in my opinion, for a not-for-profit organization. We're having a funding discussion. The whole hearing was Planned Parenthood funding. That's what we were targeting.
Wasn't it really the result of those very disturbing videos that all of us have seen by now?
Yeah.
Videos that Planned Parenthood and a lot of other people say were doctored, were edited, weren't really reliable. Elijah Cummings, the ranking Democrat on your committee, he asked you to call the makers of that video before the committee for a hearing. You declined. Why?
Well, first step is issuing a subpoena, which I did without the Democrats supporting it. Issue a subpoena to get all of the videos.
Have you seen all of the videos? All of the
nobody
unedited
has.
videos?
No, nobody has.
Do you have them yet?
No, we haven't, because we issued a subpoena, but there's a temporary restraining order in California, so there's a conflict between the legislative branch and the judicial branch, and until we get all those videos, we're not going to call up this person to question him on the video.